It's time that let me tell you something. There are churches, there are places that wouldn't even let me have a mic because of this arm right here. Forget the fact that I'm a woman and they hand me the mic. But then a woman with tattoos, oh Lord, and a nose ring, oh Lord, oh, and a pastor, oh Lord. No wonder hell knows my name.
Hey, Cupcake, hell knows your name because it celebrates you and what you do from that pulpit. You need to hear the truth, and I'm going to tell it to you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for stopping by the Alabama Woodsman. If this is your first time here, I hope you can get something from my video, something from my channel. And if you are a return viewer, you're obviously a glutton for punishment, and I appreciate that about you. All right, folks, I'm going to review a video that came out, I think in June, possibly, from Church International. Drew did a review of this, a part of this. That link will be in the description below. This is a master class in propaganda and damage control. That's what this is. Folks, you don't look at what they're presenting to you. You look at the motivation, the purpose. What do they hope to achieve by doing this little show? That's what the real message is. Now, in them doing this, they're showing also how pitiful and lost their flock are. Really, it's really sad. As always, hey, Bullocks, I got an email in the description. If you want to contact me, go ahead. I don't want anybody saying, well, have you reached out to your brother who's offended you? That's the best I can do. They won't return my emails, okay? So it's down there. Hey, Cupcake Crittenden, if you want to talk to me, same thing for you. I'll talk to you too. In the description is my email address. All right, folks, as always, you can crank up the view speed. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I know how it is watching these long videos. Hey, folks, this is Church International and the pastor, girl Robin, making a total fool of herself, and her daughter, Christa Bullock, who won't even use her married name. There's a story there, I bet, but I can't get into it. Folks, this is the Warrior, Alabama, scourge of Warrior, Alabama, the Bullocks.
Bless the Lord. Well, Christa, come and tell us how to we've been learning how to prosper this week. Prosper this week. Prosper this week.
Hallelujah. How many's glad to be in the house of the Lord today?
Now, in case you don't know it, Christa Crittenden, she rarely goes by her married name. There's probably a reason why. And oh, by the way, Christa, nice outfit. A little bit more feminine, not so much middle of the road, if you know what I'm saying. So she is the hype man for the tithe and offering. Folks, if you look at this video right here, you'll see what their position on tithing is. But you could also see it right here. She didn't say it's time to give to the Lord. She didn't say it's time to fund our food pantry for the poor. She didn't say it's time to tithe so that we could go help the homeless in the biggest city in Alabama, which they're not too far from, Birmingham. She didn't say any of those things. Folks, you do know the tithe in the Old Testament was to come into the storehouse of the Lord and go out to the poor. The Levites took only what they needed to survive. They weren't vacationing in the Grand Caymans or anything. They weren't going on cruises. They weren't buying up land. They weren't taking flying lessons. They didn't have motorhomes and Harley Davidsons. No. The food, the tithe, because it was food, it was never money, the food would come into the storehouse and then back out to the poor people. And the Levites, who were not allowed to work, they were able to eat and survive. That's what the tithe was. But of course, not here. They won't tell you anything about that. She says it's time to prosper. See, folks, they give money to the Lord. Really, they give it to the Bullocks. They give money to the Bullocks so that God will prosper them. Folks, this is the propaganda coming out of Church International. You tithe and the Lord will prosper you. That's why this video is titled Propaganda and Damage Control. Folks, this is like the mainframe of the NAR, name it, claim it, blab it, grab it kind of people. But here, she's telling you, we are promising you. The Bible tells you, is what they'll say. You give unto the Lord, which is us, Robin Bullock Family Incorporated. You give it to us, and God will prosper you. And then they'll probably turn around and when it doesn't happen, say, well, God prospers you in other ways. Yeah, you gave your money and he prospered you in other ways. Folks, why do you think it is an expression of your faith or a biblical obligation that you give multimillionaires more money to show that you're being faithful to God? There's nowhere in the Bible that you can support that. Folks, if you want to show your faith in God with your money, give it to a soup kitchen. Give it to a battered woman's and children's facility that hides them away and gets them back on their feet. Or how about give it to an orphanage? Or the widow woman down the street who has trouble keeping the lights on and food in the pantry. How about give it to her? Or how about a good ministry that visits those who are shut in and brings them a meal and makes sure they're okay and sits with them and just visits for a little while so they have some human interaction and talk about the Lord with somebody? Or how about give it to a show enough true prison ministry to take the gospel to those people? How about give it to them? No. The people at Church International and the people that watch Church International, they're going to give their money to multimillionaires because they think they're showing their faith in God. Actually, you're falling for a scam is what you're doing. The whole tithing is an obligation is a scam nowadays, people. Don't doubt me on this. But if you look, that's what this is about. She just told you this is not about tithing, even though, like I said, this video tells you that there is no more tithing in the New Testament. This is not about tithing. It's about prospering. It's all about prospering. It's about you and your money. If you'll give it to the Bullocks, God will give it back to you. Don't hold your breath.
I feel like we came in at first, and some of you, as my dad says, you didn't know whether to eat out of that pan or not.
Now, I don't watch the Bullocks a lot because normally when I do these videos, I like eating breakfast and I want to keep it down. Okay, I don't want to lose my breakfast watching these people. But it seems to be Christa's, Cream Puff Christa. It seems to be Cream Puff here. It's her MO to degrade some of the people in the congregation. She does it a lot. I'm not saying she does it every time, but she does it a lot. I've seen that much. Folks, why are you sitting there while she offends you? Are you too silly and sorry, but stupid to know you should be offended? I guess you are. All right, folks, so this is a little bit of PSYOPs, psychological operations here. Her PSYOPs is this. I am going to embarrass anyone who just doesn't believe what we say. Well, you didn't know, like my daddy says, he didn't know if you needed to eat from that pan or not. Well, to her, everything in Daddy's pan is good, and you should just eat it without testing it. It's almost like, congregation, we will feed you manure down your throat, and you will like it, is the attitude of Church International. I mean, she just tried to folks, you should be offended that they think you're this stupid, that you could be embarrassed into just believing whatever comes out of their mouth. Unfortunately, they're very good at it, and everyone in that congregation, oh, by the way, look at the congregation. Boy, he's really packing them in. Everyone in that congregation is eating the manure that they're dishing out from the pulpit, and the crowd is liking it.
And then all of a sudden, the joy of the Lord was infectious.
Yes.
It's contagious. And that's the kind of thing that you want to catch. You know why? Because the joy of the Lord is your strength. And it can help you get through any situation. You know, I can't help but think, you know, a lot of people, you can't prove me wrong on this, but I feel like that when we get to heaven and you meet Samson, he's actually going to be more of a joyful person than you realize. Because the scripture says that the anointing would come upon him and give him his strength. But the scripture says that the joy of the Lord is your strength. What if Samson just began to throw his head back and laugh? You got 1,000 Philistines coming at you trying to kill you, and all of a sudden, people think you're psycho. All of a sudden, Samson's just standing there in the middle of 1,000 Philistines just laughing. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha.
He would have looked psychotic.
See, some of you just need to do that.
That would have looked like a movie.
Yeah, it would have. People would have. They would have thought he was psycho. But the joy of the Lord. Why do you think that people think that we're crazy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I want to answer that. Hang on a second. Christa, people think that your family is crazy because of the things you do that are not biblically sound. Okay. Later, she tells you some stuff about her tattoo and her nose ring and the fact that she's a pastor, that people, you know, there are some churches she wouldn't be able to preach in. Well, yeah, okay, because, see, that's actually in the Bible. I didn't write it, but you are displaying exactly what that verse is put in there for. Folks, people think that the Bullocks are crazy and Church International is crazy because of what we're going to see Girl Robin do here shortly. Christa, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call you by your proper name, Cream Puff. The reason why people think that your whole family is crazy is because you do crazy things.
I looked around and just out of conversation, I said, Lord, Joe Biden don't need to be president. And just like this, just like if you'd answered me, he said, he won't. Just like that. He said, he won't. And then he said this. He said, and after the election, now this is going to sound strange, but he said the Democratic Party will go underground.
You are able to talk people out of their money very well, and you don't see the impending doom coming upon you and yours. All for the Benjamins. And trust me, I've talked to a lot of people, okay, from Warrior. There's a lot of Benjamins floating through Church International and the Bullocks. All right, so their video is 4 hours long, and I can't take 4 hours of the Bullocks. I can't. Y'all forgive me. But it would appear that they sang a secular song from the pulpit, from on stage, something that's supposed to be consecrated to God. They sang a secular song from the movie Despicable Me.
Concerns raised in Christian reviews of Despicable Me often focus on the film's moral and thematic elements, justification, glamorization of evil, lack of clear consequences for sin, crude humor, and questionable content with potential anti-Christian themes seen in later spin-offs. Now, back to the Woodsman.
Yeah, that resume makes me think you need to put something from that movie on a stage that's supposed to be consecrated to God. Yeah, I see the logic in that totally. All right, so let's hear what Cupcake has to say, and then I will come back and give you the Woodsman's perspective on this.
Some people probably thought, why in the world are you singing a secular song? Why are you singing a song from Despicable Me? Let me tell you something. Despicable Me is a story of somebody that they never thought could be redeemed.
Yeah, that's a common theme in movies, but that doesn't make it biblical. That doesn't make it Christian.
And Gru ended up being a supervillain to a superhero. He ended up saving 3 little girls' lives. And he ended up being a good man.
Okay, so the man changes himself. The love of Jesus Christ and a repentant heart in the main character doesn't change him. No. He changes himself. It's all about self. I can change myself. I can fix myself. I can forgive myself for sin, and it be okay. Folks, what she's talking about here has nothing to do with Christianity. If anything, it detracts from Christianity. In Christianity, one sees themselves as unable to save themselves. That's why they need Jesus. But in this movie, in this cartoon, no, he saves himself. Of course, she's not going to tell people that because it doesn't play to her narrative.
And also, this is the modern day Jesus revolution. And some of these teenagers in this generation, they don't know some of those older songs, but they know that one. They know that one. And so guess what? The Lord's going to use it. Because why should the devil have all the good music?
Well, here's an original idea. I mean, Christa, those young people, they don't know those old songs. How about y'all teach them? Teach them the old ways, the traditional ways. Teach them those hymnals that really meant something. No, you'd rather get on stage and play something from Despicable Me and try to justify it as, well, they don't know those old songs, but they know this one. This is pitiful. This is why you're not qualified to preach. You're not qualified to hold the mic. Modern day Jesus revolution. Why should Satan have all the good music? Well, she just told you that Christian music stinks because the devil's got all the good music. See, folks, the people in the crowd cheering her on, they don't see it. They don't think about what she's saying. I've told you before, my training officer, once I got out of the police academy, told me, you always look at what people are not saying. That's where the truth lies. What did she not just tell you? She just didn't tell you, oh, well, Christian secular music is better than Christian music. That's what she said without telling you. Folks, let me tell you a quick story, okay? I want to show you the practicality of this. When I was a young Christian, I was married to the flower girl, and we were going to this church. And it was youth night. Well, the youth pastor needed some help. He was a young man himself, okay? He needed some help, so I stepped in. Now, this was when Cops was the hot TV show. So that song, Bad Boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? That was a good song. That was a hit song, okay, out there. Well, being a cop, I didn't think anything was wrong with it. So as I was DJing, one night we had a sleep-in, and I was DJing. It was in the main sanctuary, so I was using the sound system. I played that song. And the youth pastor came to me and said, hey, listen, I kind of got a rule that we don't play secular music out of God's sound system. And I was like, you're right. I didn't think about that. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Folks, if all this is consecrated to God, what does the worldly stuff that we experience every day have to do with any of it? See, she tells you that basically what she's telling you is Christianity, the gospel's not good enough to save. Oh no, we need to trick people with things of the world to get them in and just hope that through osmosis, the gospel just jumps on them and they see the light. Folks, that's what is his name, Mike Hood or whatever his name is, the guy that does Transformation Church. He brings the world in, and guess what? The world leaves no better than when they came in. The gospel doesn't just jump on people. Okay, you do not do evil that good may come of it. You don't build up the world to make it look just like Christianity. There is a division there, and if you don't show that division, guess what? You're of the world. Folks, the gospel is far superior than any other way in existence to bring someone to the knowledge of Christ. You don't need to make Christianity look like the world and try to trick someone into Christianity. You can't do that because they're going to come to church, they're not going to change, then they're going to think, oh, well, I'm actually okay. And they're going to leave worse off than when they got there because now they're in delusion. And Christa, you gave it to them. And you want to trick people to come into your church by using secular music and hope the gospel just reaches them somehow. Folks, you've got to show the world the alternative to the world. When they get sick enough of their sin, when kind of like the prodigal son, we know he was with the father before. But when these people get so tired of their sin and the Holy Spirit draws them at that point, that's when you'll see true conversion. But if you just bring them in, now guess what? I heard there's this church down the road. It's called Church International, and they play the coolest secular music on stage. Let's go see that. You think that's going to be a true conversion bearing fruit? No. Folks, this is more psyops to get people to come in the church. And the reason to get people to come in the church? The Benjamins.
Why should he have all of that? So you need to take your religious mindset and your religious beliefs and throw it in the garbage. You just need to go ahead and throw that in the garbage. There's garbage cans right outside that door. Go take it, pull it out of your head, and throw it in the garbage. And that's about where I'm at this morning. You come in with a religious mindset, take it to the trash right there. And we'll have somebody carry it out the door for you. Because it's time that mindset becomes dismantled.
Okay, so what she just told you is if you are of the opinion like I am, that you shouldn't play secular music on a stage consecrated to God, that you shouldn't bring in like the menorah because you're not Jewish. And you're not an apostle. Folks, that's why Robin Bullock dresses in black leather, from what I understand from people in Warrior. He says that the apostles wore black and the prophets wore leather, and he's an apostle and a prophet, so that's why he wears black leather. That's what I was told. So if you come into their church with a religious spirit, if you think that the stage should be consecrated to God, if you think that it should be Christian, and help me on this one. Please forgive me, Cupcake. If it's traditional Christian, it's got no place in Church International. No, you're religious. You need to throw that out the door. You know why? Throw it in the trash can. You know why? Because they're bringing in new church, just like Timothy Dixon tells us. See, folks, they want to get rid of your tradition, so it's an anything goes church. Whatever the prophet brings in, the apostle will ordain as true word from God, and it will change the way church is done. And that's the goal. The goal is to change church from the way it is today to the way the Antichrist wants it. In fact, the Antichrist's foot soldiers, the angels, are given prophets' messages just like this one.
I am really troubled to say that that we really think, do you really think that you can hold God in the pages of just the Bible?
And a spoken word ministry I saw spring forth out of the hearts of the men and women of God in this last day. Many churches shall begin to close, but there will be a rebound of churches, a new rebirth of new churches to open under a new thing, and the old shall pass away.
See, folks, if you stand in the way of new church, the new spoken word church that's coming, that has no biblical foundation, if you stand in the way of that, you're labeled as religious. Cupcake just did it to you. If you come in here saying we can't play secular music, after all, Satan's got the best music. We need to play some of his music. If you disagree with me, you need to take your religious thoughts and throw it in the trash right outside the door. This is the evilness that comes from Church International.
It's time that let me tell you something. There are churches, there are places that wouldn't even let me have a mic because of this arm right here.
Yes, Cupcake, we all see your tattoo. Yeah, we see it. And we can tell you're making a spectacle of it. You want people to see it. That's why you're displaying it. It's not for your own personal worth. Otherwise, you'd have a sleeve over it. No, you want to be edgy. You want to be somebody, I'm like the world. Yes, Cupcake, you are.
Forget the fact that I'm a woman and they hand me the mic. But then a woman with tattoos, oh Lord, and a nose ring, oh Lord, oh, and a pastor, oh Lord. No wonder hell knows my name.
Hey, Cupcake, hell knows your name because it celebrates you and what you do from that pulpit. You need to hear the truth, and I'm going to tell it to you.
Because I don't care. You didn't call me, and you can't take it away. So, with that being said, let's make the devil even more mad, and let's receive the offering. Yeah! Let's do that!
So I'm sure Pastor Cupcake here, Crittenden, draws a paycheck for being a pastor at Church International or 11th Hour or whatever it actually is. It's got some other business name. Some kind of youth ministry business name. I'm sure she draws a paycheck. Folks, I had a preacher tell me a long time ago, be very, very, very suspicious of one family who controls all the positions of power in a church. Folks, they're all drawing a paycheck. Just thought you'd like to know. All right, folks, now we're going to get into Girl Robin, Cupcake's mom. And she's also a pastor. Yeah. Let's hear what she has to say. This is what the video is mainly about. This is gut-wrenching right here. Listen, I have love for the Bullocks on a Christian level, but they're not my favorite people. I'll just say that, okay? I love them in the Lord. I do that. I pray for them. But if you're like, hey, Woodsman, would you like to come have dinner with the Bullocks? It wouldn't be because they're my favorite people, okay? It'd be for a totally different reason. Let's watch Girl Robin put her foot in her mouth. All right, now let me catch you up to speed where we are in the sermon. She's talking about people coming against the Bullocks and Church International. That's what she's talking about, and she uses hindering and delaying and hindering spirits. Satan's using them against the Bullocks and Church International. We pick it up there.
Because it was a delay and a hindering spirit sent from Satan.
All right, folks, you got to be very careful about taking Bible verses and stories and applying them to your life as if it all applies to you, because it doesn't. Okay, I've gone over this many times before. For instance, when you pay your taxes, do you go to the lake and try to catch a fish and pull money out of its mouth to pay taxes? Well, that's what Jesus did, so why aren't you doing it? That kind of thing. And in this case, what's happening here is she's taken a story out of the Bible, okay, possibly. Now, I've not watched the whole video up to this point, okay, but I assume, take that for what it's worth, I assume she's talking about how delaying and hindering spirits were hindering the real apostles in the Bible. And what she says is that they were sent from Satan. Well, back then, okay, Miss Bullock, Miss Robin Bullock, I'm going to call you Girl Robin, okay? Girl Robin, Satan ain't coming against your church. He's really not. In fact, be it known, if it were possible, I would think you guys would be getting all kinds of satanic awards. I would think they'd have a big banquet in hell just sitting there and, all right, we call it order. We would like to honor Church International. They're doing a great job for us up there. They are really, they are pulling souls from the straight and narrow and putting them on the broad and disastrous path. Man, they are shipwrecking faith better than old Beelzebub over there. How about it there, Beelzy buddy? I bet they're getting awards in hell for what they're doing. And they're very successful because this is a time of deception, and this is what the end times are about.
To try to keep this church from its destiny, to try to keep us from what we're doing, to try to keep that one soul out that you're trying to reach.
Okay, folks, so this is all damage control, but the master class is the propaganda. Did you see how she changed it? They're coming against Church International. They're coming against us, the Bullocks. They're coming against us, but it's going to keep that one soul you're trying to reach out. See, she changed it for, oh, pitiful me, we're the victims, but so are you. You're a victim too. And then you're going to see her being like, well, yeah, I want to be a victim because victims get attention. And now guess what? You jumped on her bandwagon. She put you in with her with that simple little phrase. The ones you're trying to reach is going to keep them out. Folks, listen, the snake is strong in this one. It really is. You got to really pay attention to what she's doing. She changed gears on you. Poor, pitiful me. But guess what? We're in the same boat. They're coming against you too. All right, now her NAR buzzwords, the destiny, our destiny. Folks, if your destiny today can be changed, it wasn't your destiny. Your destiny is where you land. Now, I'm not talking about, they're using it, in occultic ways, new age ways, but I'm talking about just the word destiny itself, okay? The word destiny, if it can change, it ain't your destiny until it's the last place you stop. That would be your destiny. So you're telling me your destiny can change depending on how Satan's coming at you? Your destiny is your destiny. God knows your destiny. You don't. You live in now time, here and now, the present. God knows what's going to happen to you when you breathe your last breath. He knows what's going to happen to you for all eternity. You don't. Folks, they use this word destiny, and they don't even know what they're talking about.
From trying to keep you're doing this, you're fighting like this to keep going while they're calling you every name in the book.
Okay, so this is exaggeration, but I'll be honest. I have called the Bullocks every name in the book. I have. Now, it's this book, okay? False prophet, false apostles, liars, shipwreckers of faith. Yeah, I've called you every name in this book, Girl Robin, but you want to exaggerate it as if it's the dirty books, okay? Now, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for the friends that I know that help do this. I'm not speaking about other people that I don't even know of. If they're calling you dirty names, that's on them, okay? But for me and my house, we ain't doing that. The only names you're getting called in a book is out of this book. And I have extremely solid biblical grounds to call you those names in that book.
They're trying to hold you down, and I'm talking about you as this church. Hold this ministry down.
Yeah, we're trying to hold their ministry down. Well, she's not lying. There are people trying to hold that ministry down because it's an evil ministry. It's a ministry that shipwrecks faith. It's a ministry that puts the Benjamins above all and the income. See, that's what this is really about. The propaganda, this is what it's really about. She's in damage control. So what's happening is she's saying, hey, folks, I'm here to shore up the base. Keep the money coming in. Keep it coming in now. Look, they're saying bad things about the Bullocks, but it's you too. It's you too. They're saying bad things about you. So guess what? Give us your money and let's all stand together. Power to the people. That kind of thing. And guess what? Their people will fall for it.
Listen, this ministry right here, it doesn't end here. This is a worldwide ministry. On the other side of that camera, do you know that there is a commercial in Israel running right now from this church?
Bravo. She's going to tell you that they paid for, I think, like 10 bomb bunkers that the people can run into when the sirens happen. Look, hey, thank you, Bullocks. Thank you. Of course, you just got your reward. You got your reward for doing that good thing for your fellow human. Enjoy that reward on earth. Nothing in heaven because you just got it now. But anyway, Hey, girl Robin, that's noble. That's noble. I give you your accolades, your applause. Hey, but there's still homeless people in Birmingham. It's just down the road. I don't see you doing any, and I'm saying I don't see it, okay? I've not seen you in video make commercials about how we should be helping the homeless in Birmingham. There's plenty there. I know you guys go through Birmingham and you see the tent cities that are up. Now, it's not as bad as other places, true, but it's there. I don't see you helping those. See, folks, there's a couple people in the Bible you're supposed to help. I'll name a few: the orphans, the widows, the shut-in, those imprisoned. Those people, those are the kinds of people you're supposed to be helping. Well, I can say that it's okay to help out the Israelis with bomb shelters. I got that. I would just like to see you, do a little bit more closer to home and what the Bible tells you. Hey, Bullocks. Enjoy the reward you just got for boasting about what you're doing, letting your right hand know what the left hand's doing, so to speak.
The enemy, he tried to shut our voice up.
Something else that just hit me. She says the enemy tried to shut our voice up as if they're one big family. Okay. Well, I would imagine there's people in the congregation who are barely getting by, but the Bullocks aren't barely getting by. Oh, no. Barely getting by was like when they first started and they were receiving money from certain churches to play music and stuff. Well, never mind, I won't go there. So they're one big happy family, but most of the family, 99% of that family, doesn't live like the 1% of that family. Oh, no. You can bet on it.
He tried to delay. He tried to hinder. It doesn't matter who they send out or what they say. It don't matter. We let them rave on so the world knows that they're mad. I tell you what, whoever put their 80-something-year-old, that woman wasn't 80-something years old. Put on a bus in California and drove all here. That's bull crap.
Brittany and Guy.
Jason, thank you. The warrior community is taking the phrase, love thy neighbor, to another level.
A California woman recently trekked to the city after she believes Church International leaders there led her to move there. But when she got to the door, things didn't go as expected.
That's bull crap.
WVTM 13's Magdala Lusant has her story.
82-year-old Janet Degwa seems to be in good spirits, despite living in an unfamiliar territory for over a week.
That's bull crap.
Clinging to Jesus, grateful that I can, and enjoying every minute of it.
Degwa, a retired social worker from California, says she felt led to move to Warrior after she says she heard Church International's pastor say so.
That's bull crap.
She's been following the ministry for a few months.
The invitation that was given on YouTube was essentially this. He was saying, if you find that you have a kindred spirit with what I'm sharing with you and with what I do, what I say, come.
That's bull crap.
She took a 3-day bus trip to Warrior, and when she arrived on May 21st, she says she was met with hesitancy by a church staff member.
That's bull crap.
If they make a call like that, I'm just assuming all the staffing would know.
That's bull crap.
So I was at a loss to figure out what was going on, but I wasn't going to press her. It was like, had I gone there penniless, that might have been a different story.
People in Warrior have quickly learned of Degwa's story. She's currently staying with a couple while others help her find a permanent home.
That's bull crap.
I've grown to love this little place in the little time that I've been here. The people are so nice.
Grateful of the neighborly love, she's learning why she was truly called to the city.
Things may not could have turned differently, but I never got a chance to enter that door.
That's bull crap.
And that may have been a good thing. My prayer is that your city will not be altered in any way, because it's a beautiful place. And like I said, what I saw there is to be treasured.
We've reached out to church leaders at Church International for an interview and statement.
That's bull crap.
And haven't heard back. In Warrior, I'm Magdala Lusant, WVTM 13.
Folks, that's propaganda and damage control. That's a true story. But what she's telling her congregation is,
that's bull crap.
Folks, it happened. She is lying to everyone, including herself. Folks, it's a strange person who will believe their own lies. And she does. Folks, the lady that came from California, you hear what she said? She never got to enter the doors. She was shut out at the doors to Church International. The ones who are taking care of Israelis with bomb shelters turn away a woman who came from California to be there as a kindred spirit. Couldn't get in the door. And they have the love of Christ. Yeah, they're hearing from the Lord. Folks, this lady just called this woman a liar. She told everyone.
Yeah, that's bull crap.
This never happened. She's not 84 years old, but yet did you notice when she first started, she said, who would put their mother on an 84-year-old woman or a woman who's 80, and then she stopped, and then she said that woman wasn't 84. Truth be known, I don't know. But, of course, if girl Robin, the pastor of Church International, says everyone else is a liar, then I guess she speaks the truth.
Yeah, that's bull crap. This cray, send Mama out there with her cane.
Folks, a woman got on a bus and she traveled across our country and she showed up at the door to Church International and she was turned away and the congregation is just laughing it up. Now, people tell me I don't have the fruit of the Spirit. Oh, you're mean. You don't speak kind words. Folks, they're laughing at a woman who was basically stranded. She stranded herself. I'm not saying that the lady didn't do wrong. Not wrong, but she wasn't wise in what she did. No real plans once she got here. But you don't turn an 82-year-old woman away at the door and then have the congregation of Church International just laugh it up like nothing's wrong. What is wrong with you people? You can't even see your own fault. How do you get forgiveness of sin? You can't see it. It's just funny to you to have an old woman travel across the country and your staff turn her away at the door. I think Keith Green wrote a song about that you might want to listen to. All right, folks, this is a tactic that liars use called deflection. Now, the woman told you she couldn't even get in the door. So the church that is supposed to be taking care of people. See, folks, that's what the tithe was for. It was to take care of the poor people. Okay? It came into the storehouse of God and it came back out to the poor people. Not at Church International. This lady couldn't even get in the door. Now, here's the childish part of this whole deflection and everything. This is what children do. Instead of saying, you know what, yeah, we did wrong. We should do better. We've talked to our staff. If anything like this happens again, they are to invite them in. They're to make sure they're safe. They have a place to stay for the night. We're sitting on millions of dollars. We could have paid for a hotel room and some meals until we got all this thing straightened out. But we didn't do that. Instead of doing that, you know what she says? Who would put their mama on a bus with a cane? So it's their fault. It's not Church International's fault for not taking in the sojourner, for taking in the traveler. Oh no, it's not our fault for turning her away at the door. She never should have been put on a bus with a cane. It's not our fault. Folks, this is adolescent. This is what children do. Okay, so now once again, because this is damage control and masterclass in propaganda and damage control. If you watch this video right here, I'll leave a link in the description. Drew Bloom has already reviewed this section of the video. Did a very nice job. I'm going to have some Woodsman's comments after this.
You have people out there, idiots. I mean, just plain old idiots with a bullhorn. Come out, false prophet. I looked at Rob and I said, what? It's the old West? I said, we strapping on our Bibles and going out there?
Folks, you see how alien that thought was to her? Was this the old West? We're going to strap on our Bibles, go out there? That's how alien it is to them to have to defend the faith as they preach it. Because no one does. No one questions them. Because then they will be deemed religious. Remember what Cupcake Bullock said in the very beginning of this video? You don't question the Bullocks. Folks, she wants to sit here and tell you that no one should question her. Is this the Wild West? Aren't we beyond this? Oh, no. No, we're there. We are in the ferocious defending of the true faith. That's where we are. You're into collecting the ducats. You're collecting the Benjamins. You're leading people astray as false apostles and prophets, according to the Bible. But the days of you just doing what you want to do without question, they're pretty much over.
This is crazy. That the devil will make people look like idiots.
Devil will make people look like idiots. No. 180 degrees in the wrong direction there, girl Bullock. That's why you should not be a pastor. The devil makes people look like they are smart and wise. See, 1 Corinthians 1:27 says that the Lord uses the foolish and the weak, I'm paraphrasing, to accomplish his will. The devil makes people look stupid. No, he makes them look wise. In fact, sometimes he even gives them ministries in Warrior, Alabama that brings in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Yeah, that's what the devil does. He makes them look wise, except when they turn away women who travel across the country, they turn them away at the door. Don't even, no hotel, no food, hey, let's just make sure you're safe. Come on in. You must be tired from traveling. We'll help you. No, see, she's got it 100% wrong again, Robin. This is why you are not qualified to be a pastor or a prophet or a preacher. You are disqualified because you, ma'am, are the one who's being used by Satan. And all your little people that are laughing are just as delusional as you. It's sad to see it happen. Folks, you're watching all this congregation laughing at this. It shows you the depths of their delusion.
Dog the Bounty Hunter was in here. He said, what, you want me to go out there? We said, nah. Well, that guy had a peed in his pants. If you went out there.
So Dog the Bounty Hunter was there, as if I'm supposed to shake in my Weedle boots. Girl Robin, I don't get starstruck by people because I understand, and I have since I was a little boy, that Hollywood is based on lies. They make a living out of lying to people so convincingly that people will separate themselves from their money, and that's the object of the lie. So I know you're starstruck with Dog the Bounty Hunter, but you'll forgive me if I'm not. You almost make it sound like if Dog were to come out, Drew and I would have been like, oh no, it's Dog the Bounty Hunter, run away. No, that was not going to happen. I'll just tell you right now, that was not going to happen. But in the story that you relayed, I noticed something. It wasn't your man, the leader of the flock. I noticed it wasn't your man that stepped up and said, I really need to go out and see what those guys are about. I need to go confront those guys and just find out if I can't get them to move along. No, it was a guest in your church. Now, I can only imagine, this is speculation, that Dog the Bounty Hunter's there and he sees what's going on because I called him out myself. I saw him going in with your husband. And when he heard all that, when Boy Robin didn't step up, Dog felt like he needed to step up. Isn't that amazing? Your husband didn't want to come out and talk to us. but a guest in your church felt the need to do it. Well, let's look at Dog the bounty hunter, okay? The crypt keeper himself. First of all, Dog is an opportunist, okay? That's all he is. Wanting to come out there, what was he going to do? He's been in enough legal trouble that he's not going to do anything, really, because hopefully he's smart enough not to, with the cops sitting right there. So why were we supposed to pee in our pants? Second of all, Dog's probably got some money. And had he done anything, I would have owned some of it. So he's not going to do anything, especially since the cops were right there, yet we were supposed to pee our pants. Now, I don't know if you've seen this guy on YouTube. His name is Drew Bloom. Dude's got some arms on him. He's fit, and he's got some combat training. And look, I got some arms too. Well, they're mainly covered in fat right now, but I got some arms too. I've been in 2 wars, a SWAT team leader, and I'm supposed to be afraid of Dog the bounty hunter? Are you insane? Folks, I used to haul people like Dog the bounty hunter to jail, kicking and screaming for their mommy and a lawyer. So we wouldn't be scared of Dog the bounty hunter coming out, because dude's in his 70s now, I think I saw. So he was probably in his late 60s, not in good health. You can look and see the years of smoking and drinking that's taking its toll on him. We were supposed to be afraid of that. You know who really needed to come out there? Was Boy Robin. He needed to put his soy latte down, and he needed to come out and say, let's talk about this. What's the problem? What are you talking about? That's what should have happened. That's what a man defending the faith would have done. Okay. But that's never going to happen. Yeah. Boy Robin was not going to come out and talk to us. And neither really was Dog. He wasn't going to come out and do anything. That's ridiculous. Robin's not going to come out there because he cannot defend his record as a prophet. So all he can do is come out and start asking us questions, and we're going to make him look foolish by using the word of God. The very first thing I'll throw up is his prediction about Joe Biden not being president, and how Noah Harari was supposed to be dead. I would throw up all his false prophecies in his face. He would have to turn around, tuck tail, do the walk of shame back into the building, and entertain Dog the bounty hunter. That's why he won't come out, okay? He won't come out because he will be exposed as a false apostle and a false prophet. That's the truth. All right, folks, we're going to listen to Grandpa Whitley, and I'll be back.
Hello, children. I'm Grandpa Whitley. May I ask you a few questions? Did you know God Himself told us He is angry with the wicked every day? Would you like that to change in your life? It's not hard to do. Let me ask you, have you been born again? Maybe you've never truly been in covenant with God, never known the peace that comes from knowing His anger over your sin has been quenched. Or maybe you were once close to Him, but like the prodigal son, you've wandered into a distant land, far from your Father. In either case, if you want to get right with God, I'm here to help. In the description below, you'll find a link that will guide you into becoming a child of your Creator through the Lord Jesus Christ. If you feel the need to be born again or to rededicate your life to Christ, don't wait. Click that link now. You can always come back to this video later. Your salvation is too important to delay. Stop right now, watch that video, and get right with God. When you're done, come on back and join us. On behalf of the Alabama Woodsman, we urge you, make sure you're in covenant with God today. Now, back to the Woodsman.
Cupcake Crittenden, you are disqualified as a pastor and a preacher. Girl Robin, you are disqualified as a prophet, a pastor, and a preacher. Boy Robin, you are grossly unqualified to be an apostle, and you are disqualified as a pastor or a prophet. What all three of you do, and your son that handles the media, what you all do, and you're very good at, is collecting money. You sold Jesus as a business. You make money off the name of Jesus. You've turned the congregation into merchandise and God into a family business. This is not going to go well for you. I'm going to ask you to please repent of this before it's too late. See, it's not just too late when you die. You can become reprobate in between then. And me personally, you don't have to believe this, I think once a reprobate, you are reprobate. Otherwise, why would we call them a reprobate if they really had a chance to come back? That's just my opinion. You don't have to believe that. I know there's opposing opinions on that. But listen, today, Dog the Bounty Hunter was going to come out there and we'd be like, oh no, it's Dog the Bounty Hunter. We better run. Robin, you're a funnier comedian than you are a preacher. I'm going to tell you that right now. Folks, that's the video. Hope to see you again on the Alabama Woodsman.
Let not Satan deceive you. Let not Satan deceive you. Let not Satan deceive you. Glory.